Wildlife cinematographers are a special breed, and they need to be. Without an almost fanatical love or fascination for nature, it would be impossible to do a job that requires such great endurance. In addition to technical prowess and creative ability, to have an understanding of nature that doesn't just come from books, but from years of watching and studying wildlife in its natural habitat is a necessity. Picture Perfect had the chance to interact with Gurmeet Sappal, a wildlife filmmaker and cinematographer who in 2002 won Best Wildlife Film at Vatavaran for his film Chasing Butterflies, and who is of the opinion that it is important to find the extraordinary in the ordinary. We joined him on location on a project where he's filming birds and insects within a city, and our first stop, the Sultanpur Bird Sanctuary.
I belong to a generation which has grown up seeing National Geographic specials on TV and Discovery Channel specials of TV. These are the programs which talk about beautiful landscape, exotic animals, which have color, form, symmetry in them. And I thought, why can't I be a part of it? We are at Sultanpur Bird Sanctuary to do birds and insects. I'm doing a film which basically brings out these tiny little oases in the middle of very busy cities. The best thing about wildlife is that they are guided by the seasons. If your research is in place, if you know the habitat, if you know which is their favorite tree, or which is the time of their feeding, which is the time when the birds will give out the mating calls, if you know all this, your filming will be very easy. Let's see how the day goes. The lens which I use with my Sony DSR body is a Fujinon 20x lens. It's a fairly powerful lens, but the best thing about this lens is that the minimum focusing distance is very low. That means I can focus something which is very close to the lens with ease, which is not possible in a lot of other lenses. Number two is it's a fast lens. That means when the aperture is fully open, I get the aperture f-stop as at 1.4. And when the aperture is fully closed, then I get 22. In concise, I'm very happy with it. 50% of the wildlife filmmaking is about scouting a good location. This location is good for general shots of painted stocks, but I'm not very happy with the close-ups. So what I'm gonna do now is wind up this camera and do some stills. I use a Nikon D300 body, which is a very sturdy camera. The chip which I use is a 8 GB card. It's a huge card. I can click the whole day without even thinking about the space. The lens which I use is Nikon 2.8 80-200 ED, and I put a 2x teleconverter, Nikon teleconverter with it. So with the teleconverter, it becomes 400 mm. The quality which I get is beautiful. See, the reason why I put a teleconverter on is I want to go as much as close to the birds as possible. And with a 2x, my 2.8 lens becomes 5.6 because it eats up, some light. I have been filming birds now for 7-8 years, and mostly people, they get fascinated towards the birds first, but in my case I got fascinated towards insects first and then later moved on to birds. Tuba.com